Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, has yet another failure on her resume. And no, we're not talking about her failure to protect women from Harvey Weinstein. We're actually talking about Lucasfilm's latest series, The Acolyte, Leslie Headland's masterpiece of a show, according to the Shill media. But the reality of it is it's probably the worst thing we've ever seen from Lucasfilm, which is a big accomplishment because we've seen a lot of bad stuff since Disney purchased Lucasfilm. But I broke down each episode here on this channel, and the series just got progressively worse and worse and worse with each episode. And now we have some actual numbers. The Acolyte finale viewership is 41% below Ahsoka's finale and over 50% below Andor's finale over here on That Park Place. Data from Nielsen reveals that The Acolyte's final finale viewership was 41% worse than Ahsoka's finale and over 50% less than Andor's finale. Nielsen reported that The Acolyte's viewership for the show's finale only hit 335 million minutes watched when it debuted on July 16th. The show placed 10th on Nielsen's chart, original chart, behind The Boys, Cobra Kai, Love Island, Vikings Valhalla, The Bear, Homicide Los Angeles, Evil, Receiver, and Bridgerton. And there is the top 10 for a Star Wars show. Not a good start at all. Not a good start. Of note, the show's 2-episode premiere had 488 million minutes watched, according to Nielsen. That means that total minutes watched between the 2-episode premiere and the season finale declined by over 30%. And remember, Nielsen does not just factor in individuals who watched the finale. It factors in all episodes watched for the entire week. That means it factors in individuals who binge watch the entire season. So even if the individuals binging that entire 8 episodes, the show still had less viewership than the 2-episode premiere. One can only conclude that the show saw people rapidly abandon this show after watching the first and second episode. That's exactly what happened. Obviously, there's a level of curiosity anytime any of these shows come out and people want to see them. There was a lot of controversy surrounding The Acolyte. There was a lot of dislikes. There was a lot of negativity. There was a lot of things said from the cast. And of course, you had Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, involved in it. So there was obviously a level of curiosity. People tuned in to see what's all the commotion about, and then they saw just how bad the show was and the series and the characters, and then they just completely tuned out. In fact, other data points to this being the case. The show fell off Nielsen's charts in its 3rd week when the 4th episode titled Day debuted. As can be seen, The Acolyte's viewership for the week of June 17th to the 23rd, 2024 was below 298 million minutes watched, which is the minutes watched by the 10th ranked king of collectibles, The Golden Touch. So there you have it right there, completely gone. The Acolyte, nowhere to be found. When comparing the show to more recent Star Wars releases, one can see just how poorly this show performed. As noted by X-User, now it's known, the show's finale performed worse than every single live-action Star Wars show released on Disney Plus before it, including Ahsoka, Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian. Ahsoka's finale back in October 2023 saw its viewership hit 575 million minutes watched. The Acolyte's finale viewership was 41% less than Ahsoka. Similarly, Andor's finale brought in 674 minutes watched. The Acolyte viewership over 50% less than Andor. Now, Andor, not a series that I watched. I watched the first couple of episodes, and it wasn't that terrible, to be fair. I just never went back to it because overall Disney Star Wars it's just hard to care about this stuff. I didn't watch Ahsoka. I didn't watch Book of Boba Fett. I didn't watch Mandalorian Season 3. The only reason I watched the Acolytes because it looked so horrendously bad that I was like, I have to watch this train wreck play out. Andor, from what I've understood, though, is one of the few series that actually made people happy. And that's why, even though I think it started out really slow with viewership, it actually picked up as word of mouth was spreading. From what I've understood, from what I can see. It gets even worse when you compare to Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Book of Boba Fett. Obi-Wan Kenobi had 860 million minutes watched for the week of its finale. The Acolyte's viewership is over 60% less than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Similarly, the Book of Boba Fett's viewership had 885 million minutes watched. The Acolyte was over 62% less than the Book of Boba Fett. And The Mandalorian Season 3 had over 1 billion minutes watched. The Acolyte performed 66% worse than it. Holy crap. As pointed out by Now It's Known, these piss-poor viewership numbers for The Acolyte explain why showrunner Leslie Headland was begging people to watch the show and take part in social media campaigns in order to get a second season greenlit. Now It's Known wrote on X, The Acolyte's episode 8 finale makes the charts and also explains why the showrunner resorted to begging. Absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Headland did indeed beg following the release of its finale. She was asked by Collider, shifting gears. One of the most popular questions that I get asked from Twitter was, what do fans need to ensure that we get a season 2? She responded, truly, any online support and love you can send the show. It's a little tricky because of the way that the internet works. But if you enjoyed the show and you want to see more of the story, any support that you can give the show on social media platforms will be super helpful. Do you know what will be super helpful? From your perspective, Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, if you actually made a show that the fans liked, if you actually made a show that actually respected Star Wars, and didn't push social justice propaganda and have lesbian space witches. If you do that, you don't have to ask or beg people to support it. People will just support it because it already has a built-in audience called Star Wars. If you actually take something like that already has this massive following and you do something that people like, guess what will happen? They will praise it nonstop on social media. Instead, you have jackasses like me making countless videos hating on it because it's Star Wars. She continued, sending love to the cast too. You've seen what Hayden Christensen went through. He's getting the love now, but give the love now if you enjoyed the performances. Even if you were kind of like whatever on the show, if you enjoyed the performances, get on their social media, let them know that you love them and that you support them and that the performances were great. Well, I would mirror that to your own cast. Why don't you tell your cast to get on social media and let them know that they love the fans and they appreciate the fans regardless of whatever the fans think about real world politics or opinions that the fans have. Maybe the stars can just say, hey, we like you, we appreciate you, we want your support regardless of what your opinions are. But they can't do that, can they? No, they can't. No, they can't. So this is really bad for The Acolyte, for Disney Star Wars. I find it damn near impossible that we're going to actually get a season 2. I mean, I guess it could happen because we are talking about Lucasfilm and they're full of making bad decisions on top of bad decisions on top of bad decisions. And it's clear that Kathleen Kennedy loves Leslie Headland and loves this universe that Leslie Headland has created. So it would surprise me if we get a season 2 because of how bad season 1 performed and how there's literally no one, generally speaking anyway. Because I know someone's going to clip that out and go, oh, he said literally. Yeah, generally speaking, there's no one, okay? There's no one that's wanting to watch this. The only people that are interested are people with pronouns in their bio and weirdos that won't go buy toys. There's literally no real Star Wars fans. Let me word it like that. There's no Star Wars fans that are interested in The Acolyte moving forward. There's only social justice propaganda weirdos that are interested in this because this was not Star Wars in any way, shape, or form. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.